Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am continuing my top 5 little series that I'm doing here on my channel. And today we are doing, as you can guess by the title, we are doing blushes. Now I did declutter a whole bunch of blushes back in May. 3 months ago now. Whoa, my god, 3 months. It's mind-blowing. But I'm getting off topic and I haven't even started. So to be honest, I do tend to use a lot of blushes in like physical palettes. And so to have individual blushes was kind of a hard thing to do because I tried not to grab any of the ones that are in those palettes. So we've got individuals here. So, let's get started. First off, it's something that is actually in my individual palette case here. I think I've talked about this before in a video. These are all my face powders that are just pans. And I do have my absolute favorite, come here, blush, which is the Tarte Exposed Blush. This actually did come in its compact. I just popped it out. They're just magnetically held in there. You can pop them out and put them in a Z palette, FYI. But this is the one in the shade Exposed. I think this is such a beautiful neutral pink with a hint of like mauve thrown in there. It's not too cool toned, but it's definitely not warm toned. It is that perfect, subtly cool toned blush. Makes it great for both spring, fall, winter. I don't wear this quite as much in the summer, but definitely the other 3 seasons I definitely do. And I love the formula on these. They are very, very long lasting blushes. So they are just beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. My number 2 blush is one that, again, I also haven't reached for in quite some time, but it is the Soap & Glory Love at First blush. I did also love the Peach Party one, but I did declutter that. I opted to keep this one instead. I do have a preference for pinkier toned shadows, that is, shadows. Pinkier toned blushes, but what I love about this is it's also got highlight in there, so it works really well as you can either individually pick up the highlighter shades, or you can do what I do and take your brush and swirl on all the colors in here. And it just gives you this really beautiful glowing pink. I mean, you could see that next to the Tarte one there. It's definitely a little bit lighter, more shimmery. It's definitely more of my like summer blush. I tend to prefer the shimmery. It's more of like a blush topper almost a little bit. You could definitely wear it that way if that's how you see it. It is up to you. But I think this is such a nice, soft color that's a really nice wash, especially if you're fair-skinned. I'd say check out these Soap & Glory ones. I know there's a bronzer, and I think there's 3 blushes, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me there. Next, my number 3 blush would have to be, I feel like these 3 blushes are going to be kind of like, well, saw that coming, but the Lorac blush in Tinge. I think all of the Lorac blushes are fantastic. At one point, I think I owned 9 of them. I decluttered it. I now only have 3 of them. And this, of the 3 I've got, is definitely my favorite shade. It's very similar to the Tarte one, but it's a hair bit lighter. The Tarte one's got a little bit more brown to it. It's a little bit darker. This is still a little bit more pale. This works really well for me, especially in the winter, because it is such a light shade. But again, these are buildable, so it is really easy. It's just a really nice, soft baby pink. As you can see, it's kind of in the middle between these two. It's got a slight shimmer, but it's not as light as this one is. And I think these are beautiful blushes. There's a shade for everyone in here. If you're darker skinned, there's a shade, cinema, shoot, what is it called? I don't know what it's called, but it's this really deep plummy raisin color, and it's gorgeous. I would check that out if you're deeper skinned. But for fair skinned, I would say Tinge is great. So is Prism for another one. If we're gonna jump into what is the Soap & Glory is drugstore, but it's higher price drugstore. This is really the only drugstore blush I have in here that I wholeheartedly recommend, and I think it is worth it. They're all worth it, but obviously this shade has been floating around for at least the past 3 years, maybe more, 5 years now. Has it been 5 years? I don't even know. But there is a reason why everyone and their mother has tried Luminoso. It is a beautiful shade. Obviously, if you are more tan, deep skin tones, this is not going to work quite as well for you, but there are other shades in the Milani range that I would recommend you try. But Luminoso is the only peach blush I have in this entire collection to share with you guys This is just a beautiful, warm, peachy blush. It just looks like a nice flush. That's it right there on the end. I mean, as you can see, compared to the rest of these, this is definitely much more warm toned. This is definitely my spring summer blush. I do sometimes wear it going into fall, but it is preferably my summer blush, which is why it has been such a popular thing that you guys have been seeing left and right on my channel. I wore it multiple days during Foundation Frenzy. But I think it's a great blush. It is worth the investment. I think they're $9 a piece, if I remember correctly. $8.99 or $7.99, something like that. And they come in a multitude of shades. I own 3. I also own Dolce Pink and Rosa Romantica is the other one I've got as well. And last, but certainly not least, and saving the best for last, this was the hardest thing in the world because I love this blush formula so much that I told myself I wasn't allowed to put 5 blushes from this brand only in my top 5 blushes. I could have. I really could have. And then I had a hard time fighting within these shades to pick the one that I would put as my #1 blush. And I sat there and went, what am I thinking? It's obviously this one, but these are the Clinique Cheek Pops. I own 7 of these? 6. I own 6 of these, and this one's in the shade Nude Pop. The first one I ever bought was Heather Pop, which is a great fall shade, but Nude Pop works for me year freaking round. I love the pigmentation on these. I love this. I've had this for 2 or 3 years now, and it barely looks like I've touched it. I mean, I've definitely made a serious dent in this guy. The pattern's basically all gone, but there's still all that product to get to down there. I haven't even come close to hitting pan. I've had it for that long. This is just a neutral nude, slightly bronzy blush, and I love it. It is just a barely there blush that blends well with bronzer. It blends well on days when you don't have bronzer. It works on its own. It works with it. It's just such a perfect neutral everyday blush. It's why it's my most reached for, and it's definitely the one that I have, you know, used the most of, followed up by the Clinique one in Pink Honey Pop. That's what it's called. The Pink Honey Pop one came in a close second to this, but I think the Clinique Cheek Pops in general are a great, fantastic formula. I think everyone should try it. They're not too heavily priced. I want to say they're $21. Now you may be going, that's ridiculously small, but this is 3.5 grams and it's still going strong. It's pigmented enough that like swirling your blush in here, your brush in here twice is more than enough that you need to do your cheek. But I think this is great. I think it is definitely on everyone's should be tried out once list, and there's definitely a shade for everything, for everyone. I mean, I have ones that are neon pink. This is Berry Pop, right? Yep, Berry Pop, to this guy, which is super duper dark, which is Black Honey Pop. And yes, I could pull this one off too. I think that there are plenty of shades in this range for everyone to try, and it is most definitely worth trying out, guys. Okay guys, so that was it. Just another quick one of these videos. This is just quick, simple, easy. When I'm doing these, I'm gonna try my best to at least include 1 drugstore and 1 high-end, depending on how it all shakes out, but I can't guarantee that every single time. So this time it happened to be 2 and 3 again. I'm not gonna guarantee that when it comes to the highlighters though. Whenever I get around to doing that, that's gonna be a battle, believe me. But if you guys enjoy this and you like getting to see what other makeup I like to use and makeup I test out and more tutorials from me, speaking of which, the makeup look that I did for this, which was testing a full face of drugstore makeup, should have already been up by now, and I will link it up there if you guys didn't already see it. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment down below, follow me on social media at KOBeauty58 on both Twitter and Instagram. My Musical.ly is babykateo, and I think that's everything. Comment down below what section of my makeup collection you guys want to see next time. I know highlighters are probably very high in demand, that everyone wants to see that. I kind of want to save highlighters for last. Kind of, I don't know. But yeah, that is everything, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!